The whole point of going to grad school is to change your career. You can still be active on campus. You can still go to parties. Those refund checks are nice. Don't get me wrong. And it can be hard sometimes. Really hard. Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my first video of 2025. As you can tell by the title, this week's video is going to be about things I wish I knew before going to grad school. For those who don't know me or my situation, my name is Josh Dennis, and in May of 2023, I graduated from Stetson University with my Bachelor's of Arts in Theater Arts and Education. And in August of 2024, I returned to Stetson University to begin my master's program studying business administration. Now, a few years ago, I think back in 2020, I made a video similar to this talking about things I wish I knew before going to college, but that was me talking about undergrad. This will be talking about grad school. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe, comment down below what videos you want to see next, turn on post notifications so that you see whenever I do post, and follow me on social media. Links will be in the description box down below. That's it for now, guys. So let's just get on and just spit. Let's just get on to the video. Okay, I just want to preface by saying the university that I go to is a private college. It's a very small private college at that. So the experiences that I have had thus far might drastically differ from experiences that someone else might have at like a state school. Keep that in mind. To get started, if you are looking for a career change, go to grad school. When I applied and got in, I was really stressing because I felt like my bachelor's degree has nothing to do with my master's degree. And I remember going up to the dean of the School of Business here, basically telling him that same thing. Like, I'm kind of nervous because I don't have a background in business. My bachelor's is in something completely different. And he was like, that's the whole point of going to grad school. The whole point of going to grad school is to change your career. It's not just to build off of the degree that you already have. I mean, it can be if that's what you're looking for. But if you are somebody who wants to go down a different path, go to grad school. So it gave me a lot of peace of mind. And it's something I wish I kind of knew before going into this. Well, I mean, I guess I did. It's something that I would definitely charge you guys to think about because it's not as nerve-wracking as it might seem. Now, this might be where someone who goes to a state school might differ from someone who goes to a school like Stetson. For me, in my personal experience, graduate school in its entirety has not been different from undergrad. You can still be just as active on campus. I know that some grad students are kind of like well into their life. They have full-time jobs, kids, but a lot of them are actually in a very similar place as you. A lot of kids tend to go straight into grad school. I always felt like most people spent like 4 or 5 years working and then went, but no, it's very common for students to be young in grad school. And so especially at a school like Stetson, where I still have friends from undergrad who haven't graduated yet, you can still be active on campus. You can still go to parties. You can still have positions in clubs. You can still do all the same things in grad school like you were doing in undergrad. That was the one thing that was really comforting to know when I got back on campus, was that I'm not some entity, like I'm not different than the everyday undergrad student. Like, it legit is the same kind of process of doing things. Okay, now this is where undergrad and grad school do differ. When you are applying for classes, the classes that are available, and this does differ by program, but the classes for business at least are not as available as they are in undergrad. In undergrad, you can have classes that range from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Whereas in graduate school, a lot of classes are only held at night. Like I said earlier, some people are married, some people have full-time jobs, some people have kids and stuff like that, so they can't be here throughout the day all the time. So a lot of the classes are usually held at like 6 to 9 or 8 to 9:30. That was the one thing I did have to get used to because I'm so used to having classes at like 2 p.m. or earlier in the day. So that is something to know going into grad school, that you might have to kind of get used to being in class a little bit later than you're used to. Speaking more about classes, this is something I feel like I should have known, but I didn't. At least at Stetson, you are allowed to take undergraduate classes. And I almost took a couple because I wasn't used to having such big gaps in my schedule. However, those classes do not count towards your graduate GPA. I was a little surprised at the end of last semester. I didn't do poorly, but I thought my GPA would have been higher than it was. I took 2 business classes that were a part of my degree, and then I took choir just for fun. I knew I was gonna get an A in choir, so I thought that was gonna be reflected in my GPA, but it's not, because it is technically an undergraduate class. If you go to a school and they allow you to take undergraduate classes as a grad student, just know that those credits might not transfer to your GPA. GPA. So unless you really just want to take a class just for fun, try and steer clear of doing that. You don't want to wind up taking like 3 extra classes that you don't need for literally no credit at all. Now, when it comes to paying for grad school, I'm paying all through student loans, so I will be in debt for the rest of my life. Something to know is that as a grad student, you don't get much financial aid in the sense of scholarships and things like that through the university, at least not here, unless you go through outside sources. However, when you fill out your financial aid, they tend to give you a lot more money in loans to help pay for it. With that being said, those refund checks are nice. Don't get me wrong. When I got my refund check last semester, I was like, I am rich. And you can use that money for whatever. However, no, it is still a loan. And that is going to be something that you do have to pay back. I'll just use myself as an example. With the amount of classes I was taking, it added up to like $6,000. I got approved for, I think, like about $12,000 in loans a semester. So I was playing with an extra $6,000, and I did use it because it helped me get out of a lot of debt, like credit cards and things like that, and it did give me some financial stability. However, I do have to keep in mind, eventually when I finish my program, I'm going to have to pay that back. Those numbers are cute. When that money hits your account, it's cute, but remember, it's technically not yours. I'm not saying don't use it. I'm just saying be aware that that money is going to eventually have to be paid back. This is going to be our last point for this video. This is obviously something I feel like we all know going into grad school. If you are going to grad school at the school you got your degree, your bachelor's degree at, especially if you're going straight into grad school, you will still have friends from undergrad. However, you have to know that you are now in a different place in your life than they are. Your mindset is completely different in the way that you go about things. A lot of my friends are undergrad students. I do have some friends who are in the grad program, but a lot of my friends are in undergrad. My friend who, shout out to Melissa, we talk about it sometimes where like, I don't want to paint it as you're just automatically more mature than undergrad students, because some of y'all are not. There is a difference, and sometimes there is a disconnect in the way that you think about things and the way that they think about things. It can kind of be a little lonely in the sense of they just don't get it, because you've been where they are, but they haven't been where you are. So they don't understand some things that you go through as a grad student. They won't know until they're there. Oftentimes we'll have disagreements as friends because I'm just like, why do you think that way? Why do you act like that? And it's just because they aren't where you are yet. So just know that you can have friends that aren't necessarily in grad school yet, but just know there's going to be just a difference in the level of maturity, and it can be hard sometimes. Really hard. Okay guys, so that is all I have for today's video. I know I took a lot of time off, and I know I said I wouldn't, but I really just was trying to get my bearings, trying to see what grad school was like, and really trying to put my best foot forward when it came to my academics. So I'm sorry I didn't get around to filming much last semester. Hopefully I will be able to do more videos this semester because I know what's expected now, and I know how to like budget my time and things like that. Again, sorry, but we're in school and we got to focus on that. That's the priority. Okay. But like always, thank you guys so much for watching my video. Make sure to like and subscribe, comment down below what videos you want to see next, turn on post notifications so that you see whenever I do post. And follow me on social media, links will be in the description box down below. Till next time guys, and I will see you later. Bye! Happy New Year.